Hey guys, this is Impact Hall of Famer Gail Kim, and you are watching the Countdown City WrestleCast.
What's up, heels and baby faces? Welcome to another episode of the Countdown City WrestleCast. I'm your host, JC, and I'm joined this week by Tommy.
Hello.
Mike, not able to join us this week. School has picked up, and teachers are already exhausted a week or two in, and I don't blame him. He did send us a quick little video. We're going to play in a little while, his thoughts on the weekend. And there's a lot to talk about this weekend. There definitely is. I put in the description, this was a roller coaster of a weekend, and it definitely was.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
See you guys in the live chat already. Steady, Burnsy, Jericho, what is up, guys? I think y'all ready to talk about this as well. So if you haven't already, feel free live chat with us. There's a lot to talk about. We're going to talk, of course, about CM Punk's return to wrestling, finally. We'll talk all about SummerSlam, NXT TakeOver, and we're going to discuss a bit about a pay-per-view this weekend, NWA EmPowerrr, an all-women show, which is actually one part of a double shot that's this weekend for the NWA, which is going to be celebrating its 73rd year. Pretty amazing stuff. So,
Wow.
73 years of the National Wrestling Alliance. So, all right. And if you missed this, you can always join the conversation at CCG_WrestleCast at the very bottom of the screen. So,
It's over here.
yeah, let's just jump right into it. CM Punk is finally back. The best in the world is back in wrestling. We talked about it last week. I said if they're going to have him, for sure, they kind of have to at this point. And, and it better open the show. It better open the show. And yeah, good call doing that. So
Yeah. I remember reading, like, of course, because I couldn't help but read comments. Like, people were like saying, like, the matches were short. I was like, if you thought that night was about anything other than CM Punk, you lied to yourself. Because that night was entirely what that was all supposed to be about. No one who wrestled on Rampage expected to wrestle a long match. They did not expect to have full time. They knew it was the CM Punk show that night, and everyone just dealt with it.
it's how's the best to put it? Rampage, first of all, is only an hour long as it is.
Yeah.
And it seemed like the first quarter of that was Punk, and rightfully so. It's Chicago. It's hometown. They did it right. Darby Allin call out. My gosh.
Yeah.
I was so excited.
He
you know?
even gave a shout out to Britt Baker, which I thought
Yes.
was pretty cool. I thought that was the, because Britt Baker's already great, but I don't think there's a bigger way to get a rub from a wrestler than CM Punk opening his promo with saying, "You guys know how to make Britt feel like Britt Baker in Pittsburgh," and I was like, well, she's never losing her star power.
Now, but that was not the only shout out she got this whole weekend, but we'll talk about that in a little bit too. So this has just been pretty exciting, and the promo was great, even to the point where Jim Cornette's like, you know what, they booked it even better than I thought they should have. So
I was like, what has CM Punk, what has Tony Khan done that we now live in a world where everyone and Jim Cornette agree? Like, even Jim Cornette's like, damn, that was impressive. I read that, I was like,
yeah.
Jim Cornette, who said that? Because it's not the Jim Cornette we know. But I was like, wow.
Jericho, I saw a dope video of Punk's reaction from the pop before he went through the curtain. Yeah, that might have been a part of BTE being the elite this
BTE,
week.
I had to watch it because, like, that's how they. Okay, so real quick, because, like, that part was amazing. Like his face said it all. He was legitimately shocked, I think, to hear that loud of reaction.
Yeah.
But also, they totally did this for the camera, and I know it. They panned over to the Young Bucks and Kenny, and they were just like,
"Come on, go home." Yeah. They're like, go home already.
And I'm like, you sons of bitches know you're lying. You are thrilled this is happening right now. Stop acting like that.
Steady just mentioned it right there. Of course, the Booker T comments that he made on his reality wrestling show. Look, I mean, that's one man's opinion, but it's. I'll be honest with you, it's the wrong one. I
was gonna say, I love Booker. I think he's one of the best. He is absolutely incorrect. Yeah, I disagree with him more in this case
because that's not the way he would have cut the promo. That's really what it's about.
Yeah,
it's look, it's Booker is pretty much at the point where he's trained. Okay, I'm cutting a promo. I'm talking about what's going to happen because he's pretty much in a situation where he's going to cut a promo based on what they're telling him to say. They're not going to talk about another company. That's not WWE's way of doing things. But
and actually, you know what? That was kind of the thing. He said, like, you know, I guess he like Punk talked about it, but Punk didn't really. Matter of fact, he made it a point to avoid talking about them. Like it was like that was kind of the genius really of the promo was he completely cut that whole thing and like never mentioned them, like not even once.
The only really subtle reference he made, Jake, you mentioned that not liking. The only reference he made to WWE was about I had to leave a place that was bad for me, and if I'd stayed there, I would not have gotten healthy. That's really it. He even made it a point to say, I left pro wrestling in 2005 when I left Ring of Honor, and now I'm back here in 2021.
Yep.
And in a way, it's right, because he left wrestling, went to what has now become a variety show. It's not even wrestling. It's they really emphasize the sports entertainment.
Karrion Kross?
Yeah. And now it's back to wrestling. And now, to be fair, after the storyline with Cena, that Money in the Bank in 2011, that made it interesting. That got people watching. As much as they want to say Punk had no influence in WWE, that turned things around. And when he took the time off and was later fired, they had to completely change their WrestleMania plans. Daniel Bryan doesn't win the championship that year if Punk doesn't leave the company when he does to get some time off, you know? So...
And I guess because see, to me, I think you look at it both ways. Everyone, you know, looks at their grievances with WWE, with Punk's grievances with WWE. Either you agree or you don't agree. And I think that's kind of, you know, fine either way, because ultimately that was Punk's decision, whether you agree or disagree. My own thing is that if people are going to criticize him for it, be consistent. Punk's not the first person who's ever done that. Look at Stone Cold Steve Austin. He didn't want to pretty much job to Brock Lesnar. He left. Other guys have done it, you know. But so I mean, if you want to criticize Punk, fine. But as long as you're fair, you know.
Yeah.
Look, of course, then again, asking wrestling fans to be fair, it's kind of a tall order. Yeah.
Is the Pop for CM an all-time top 10, top 5, top 3? I can't think of a louder reaction ever.
I would put it in my top 5 easy. Mm-hmm. I think one reaction that did, you're gonna hate it when I bring this up, but it's true. It really was a loud reaction. Was when John Cena came back at the Rumble that year. Was it 2008? I think.
I just remember being pissed off. It was in New York, right?
Yeah, that's why I know. That's why you were gonna hate me bringing it.
Yeah.
Triple H has come back in 2002 after his quad the first time when he came back. That was pretty loud. That's about the only two I can really think of. As
far as AEW pops go, that's definitely the top one. And
AEW, that's gotta be number one. Moxley did not get that huge a pop when he debuted in the Omega. So no, as far as AEW goes, that's gotta be number one. Ironically, I would put Britt Baker's when they were in Pittsburgh at number 2 now. Ironically enough, she's my number 2
now. So he calls out Darby Allin, CM Punk, all out. Great setup there. It's going to be in Chicago. Who else down the line do you want to see Punk wrestle?
Don't I?
Yeah.
I want to see him like wrestle Moxley and Omega at some point, but I would love to see Punk and Orange Cassidy. I don't care what people think. If Sting can do the kick thing with Orange Cassidy, there's literally no reason that Punk can't do that. So I don't care. So
Anyone else watching too? Let us know who you want to see Punk wrestle down the line. AEW. We'd love to see who you guys think. Me personally, Eddie Kingston, MJF. Can you imagine the promos? Just imagine the promos.
Someone said, I want to see a promo battle with MJF, CM Punk. First of all, that'll be 30 minutes long. Let's stop kidding ourselves. That will take up an entire. It has to be on Dynamite. That way they can have the other hour and a half of wrestling, because that'll be 30 minutes easy. So.
Yeah.
But I those two, I would love to see what he could do with Ray Phoenix, or Pac. I always like to work with high flyers because Punk's very grounded, but he can go with some high flyers. So.
All right, well, you guys let us know who you want to see Punk wrestle. This is the start of something. I'll let you know, though, his shirt is the hottest selling item in Pro Wrestling Tees history. If you don't know, the Shop AEW website is actually run by Pro Wrestling Tees. Their initial allotment sold out in less than 24 hours, and I only know this because I went to buy a shirt, and they said they had one left, and then a second later it was gone. Update, they added more. I was able to get one. Now they're at a point where they've pretty much got every single one of their ringer style t-shirts is gone. So if you order the shirt now, it's going to be on a plain white tee because they are completely sold out of the ringer style t-shirts, which of course is white with the black rings around the neck and sleeves. So
I might either get one of those or wait a couple months to see if they get the black ringer ones back, but I'm not sure because I might just get a different CM Punk shirt altogether because, if they can ever come through San Antonio,
Hey, well, check out ProWrestlingTees.com. Even his own personal store, he'll have some. But beware cheap knockoffs. They are out there. Some of them are getting shut down pretty quickly. But ShopAEW.com, ProWrestlingTees.com. Those are the only places to guarantee you're going to get the authentic AEW CM Punk t-shirt or any other CM Punk t-shirt for that matter. There's a great selection on there. Go check it out. Let's see. Bernsey says he would love to see him wrestle Lance.
Oh, sweet heavenly Father!
You just want Tommy to sweat, don't you, Bernsey? Is that what it is? So.
Only because I feel like it's two guys who are extremely frustrated with WWE. Both would like some time off. And I just think that they'll just take their frustrations out on each other.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would be fun. I had to go to my parents' house to watch Rampage because I still don't have cable. So when I got there and turned it on, that's like right when he was coming out, and I ran through my parents' house, and then I had to give them a 2-hour dissertation as to why this is a big deal.
The funny thing is, we got the kids to bed like 10 minutes before Rampage started that night.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs. I'm gonna watch it. And I was thinking, okay, we'd seen the rumors, we'd heard about this, okay, until they see him on screen and they put the little official CM Punk is All Elite graphic on their social media, it's not official. And to be honest, until I saw his face, I half expected a hooded figure to come back, and it's MJF sitting there trolling the Chicago crowd. I was waiting to see that, considering he had just beaten Jericho this past Wednesday on Dynamite. And he's going to come to blow,
I think half the people watching Rampage that night expected. And so when Punk actually came out, it's a cult of personality, which I thought was a huge win. Now, with that, let me make perfectly clear. I am still a huge Miseria Cantadia fan for my AFI. That is still my OG God tier Punk theme song. That's still mine. However, In Living Color is an all-black rock band. So I will absolutely support those.
And then that's the one he's more well known for, so it makes the most sense, So that's really that. So
and I love how the guitar riff barely started and the crowd lost their ever loving shit. It was like a nuclear blast. AEW put up a video of the production that day of what went down and the camera guys, and when the music hit and the crowd hit, you should see the guys that they were all like, yes! And I was like, those guys deserve to throw their hands in the air with happiness because production was perfect that night. I know we talked about AEW's production issues before, but each week you can tell they're getting better. That night might have been their best work period because that was perfect camera cuts all night. So
Great.
I don't know. They've been learning from their mistakes, and they got it right Friday, man. Rampage was, just that was the perfect way to bring him back.
Maybe they got to boost the sound system a little bit because, as Bernsey mentioned, you couldn't even hear the music. The reaction was so loud. But I guess that's a downside of what they have set up in AEW. It's hard to hear the entrance music sometimes on TV.
Yeah.
It
is, but also it's like that crowd was just that loud.
Yeah.
It was just that loud a crowd. They just drowned it out. It was like if they probably pumped it up be loud, they probably would get a noise violation because the crowd was just that insane that night. I'm sure half of Chicago couldn't talk the next day after that.
Oh, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, no, maybe not because the ice cream bars might have helped them out.
That was kind of the best part. It's like everyone get a free ice cream bar on the way out. I was just so jealous. Like, God dang it,
Dude, same. I was like, is it weird that I'm really jealous that they all get ice cream bars? I wish I would have ice. I laughed also when they flashed over to JR and all those guys eating ice cream bars. I was like, Taz, you boomer.
And Punk did actually foot the bill for all those. That was all out of CM Punk's bank account. So
I heard that,
props
and
to
I
him.
was like, that's impressive. Yeah. That's very impressive.
Drake says everybody dies, even Punk. So, no Lance Archer reference. So we'll see. I'm enjoying this. We'll see where this goes. The makes his wrestling debut all out September 5th. We're going to be talking about that show actually next week here on the WrestleCast. And that's shaping up to be an awesome pay-per-view.
I have never been I haven't bought a pay-per-view in so long, but man, this one is like, but that bought it the day of, but this one was like, oof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Got to see it live.
The second he yelled Darby Allin, I looked at my mom and said, well, they've got my money.
Yeah.
Damn you. I was like, damn you, Tony Khan. You've won the day.
Drake, Punk versus Black would be a great match. Yes.
That would be awesome.
That would be. There's a lot of possibilities here. Hell, if the rumors are true, we're going to see Adam Cole in AEW pretty soon. That could happen as well,
Oh, I have a lot to say about that. But I think Punk versus Black and I think a lot of guys in the especially AEW guys are probably mostly CM Punk fans. Mm-hmm. These are guys who are not only is this a possible dream matches for them? They're probably all fighting at the back to they're trying to angle dude, we will take 8 minutes on Dynamite with CM Punk. I legitimately don't care. And I'll take the loss. I'll take that L. I just want it on my resume. They want another cagematch.net profiles. Wrestle CM Punk.
All right, well, we can go on talking forever about CM Punk, but believe me, now that he is back in wrestling, now that he has signed full-time to AEW, we're going to have a lot more to discuss with him. The ratings for Rampage were through the roof, damn near double what they did the previous week.
Please God, CM Punk at Wrestle Kingdom. I don't care who. I legitimately don't care who. CM Punk at Wrestle Kingdom, God, please.
See if you knock down the forbidden door. Let's see what happens. And,
even Kevin Kelly said him versus Tanahashi, and my mouth salivated.
Oh boy!
I was like, oh God, yes. So.
Very happy. Wrestling fans in general should just be happy for this. This is pretty amazing. And for those that said, well, that's the end of the CM Punk chance in WWE, no, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not.
You fools think just because he's somewhere else. Have they never met wrestling fans? Punk wasn't anywhere and still got chants.
I'm pretty sure we're still going to hear those chants in Chicago, New York, Jacksonville even at this point. There's a lot of places they will go, and if they're not entertaining in the ring or the show's pretty boring to the fans, they will start chanting for CM Punk, among other things.
Are they scheduled to go to Chicago anytime soon?
I'm not sure.
I wouldn't. If I were them. I would avoid Chicago for the rest of 2021. And most of I would not go back there until maybe this time next year. And maybe in June or July, and that's it. I would avoid Chicago. That's a bad idea right now.
I don't know what their schedule is right now. I know they've been advertising more live events, but excuse me. With cases going up, who knows? I mean, there's a possibility they may have to pull back Survivor Series. I think they scheduled it for Brooklyn this year in November, but there's a chance they might pull it back. And we'll talk about it too. They are going back to Saudi Arabia as of right now. See what happens, right?
Now that I could not believe.
Yeah. Well, let's get right into it then. Yes, we do have to talk about it. SummerSlam. I mentioned from the top of the show, this was a roller coaster of a show. And I mean that because it had a lot of ups and downs throughout. It started off pretty well. RK Bro winning the Raw Tag Team Championships. Eva Marie, thank God, does not get a win over Alexa Bliss. I was worried about that the whole night. Be honest with you, because I would have been pissed.
No, I don't blame you because I was like legitimately like, because first of all, and after what else happened on the show, I cannot help but ask this again. Why is she there? But keep going.
Yeah.
What happened on the show?
Damian Priest wins the United States Championship. Great match. Good to see. The Usos defend their SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Can't really be mad by that. I mean, it was a decent tag team match.
Okay,
yeah. Now, here's where we kind of start to get the highs and the lows of things. So, literally, while the Usos and Mysterio's match is going on, it starts getting reported all over social media that even though it was being advertised on the kickoff show, early on in the show, that it was going to be Bianca Belair against Sasha Banks. They were still advertising it like the match was still going on. This was heavily rumored even if the match was going to take place at all. And the reason why is because they'd been supposed to work live events. Unforeseen circumstances was the reason why they did not wrestle. Well, that news suddenly broke on social media. Started to pick up, get shared, and then, of course, this is where it's weird. So they announce King Nakamura makes his big entrance. And I'm like, I don't think he was supposed to wrestle. Okay, well, they just threw a match in there. Great. And then they cut to a promo package for Bianca and Sasha while Nakamura is making his way to the ring. It was the weirdest thing. So we cut back. Bianca Belair gets introduced, does her whole entrance. And the announcer makes the announcement that Sasha Banks is unable to compete. No reason given. So her opponent is Carmella. And they're about to start. They get interrupted by the return of Becky Lynch. Crowd's on a high. It's going crazy. And that was a great moment. And
it was.
Yeah. And then Becky, of course, takes out Carmella. And, okay, where it started to get weird for me was they're just staring each other down. That's great. The crowd is hype. I think all Becky had to do was look at the ref and just say, let's ring the bell. And if Bianca said, yeah, boom. But Becky grabs the microphone and cuts a small promo like, do you want to see the man defend get a chance at the title? And there's nothing wrong with that, but for me, that seemed to kill the mood. They ring the bell. The crowd's excited. They're hype. We get like a couple moves in here, a quick finish, and it's over. And it was like, what? Bianca Belair basically got Kofi'd, as one social media post put it. So,
and here's the and honestly, as true as that is, and you're not gonna believe it when I say this, I actually got to defend Brock Lesnar here a little bit.
Oh boy. Okay.
Because at least Brock Lesnar has the size and history of doing that to superstars in the past to justify that. Only reason over the past year I have settled down about that is because Brock Lesnar is known. If Brock Lesnar got to destroy John Cena, then to be fair, he should be allowed to destroy Kofi Kingston. That's fair. I would have liked, a longer match, of course, but to be fair, he got to destroy John Cena first. That's all I'll allow that. And of course, Goldberg has destroyed him in turn, so that's fair. Becky is not known for that. She's like almost the exact same size as Bianca. And Bianca has been repeatedly shown to be probably statistically the strongest female wrestler they have. That makes no sense.
No.
I could not fathom what I was like. I don't.
Look, let me be clear.
I do not understand.
I'm not mad Becky won the championship and that she's now the champion.
No, that's not the problem.
The problem is the way she squashed Bianca Belair, who you have built up to be this amazing next generation of women's female superstar since before the Royal Rumble. And from the point where she won the Rumble. Yeah, she won the Rumble, all that momentum, winning the title at WrestleMania, putting on some great matches. You have built this character up, and then she gets squashed by a returning Becky Lynch who hasn't been in a ring in 15 months? even.
Yeah.
You know, Drake mentions Lesnar's believable. Becky, as good as she is, isn't Brock. Bianca deserved better. Agreed. That's the big issue here.
That's the issue. And well, my thing is that if you want to have a quick match, because I heard the rumors they want to turn Becky heel. If you want to have a quick match, turn someone heel, okay, do that. But have her cheat. You know, maybe have someone come help her. Have Carmella do some blah 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 blah. Railroading Bianca Belair is like the absolute. This was not the weekend to do that.
No.
That's my thing. It's like you know what? I'm gonna say it. Going back to the Punk promo, that guy literally gave Britt Baker like the rub of the decade by saying, you guys, like, you know, that's like basically saying she's a superstar, and I feel like her because I'm so welcome here. You know, but WWE with their booking has been doing that with Bianca. She's been destroying people left and right, having great matches left and right. And she gets squashed by Becky? That doesn't make sense. It doesn't. She has kicked out of way more than that. She has been in longer matches than that. If Brock Lesnar had come out and F5 Bianca and then Becky pinned her, even that I still probably wouldn't believe, because I believe that Bianca take an F5 and kick out at least one more.
And Brandon said right here, B Ninja says, or just triple threat and submit Carmella to protect Bianca. And then he says, also, where's Tony Storm? Yeah, those were things I was actually, Tina and I were suggesting along with Mike that night. And he also says, WWE continues to bury future stars in its whack. Agreed. Carmella's there. That can be your scapegoat. If you want to go for a quick match, have them fight, have Bianca get thrown out of the ring, Becky hits a finish on Carmella, you're protecting Bianca Belair. You're setting something up for the future. Yeah.
I've never understood wrestling promotions, because TNA did this as well when the Jeff Hardy Sting situation. I never understood it because they also had a similar situation where a wrestler didn't show up and they just had like a quick battle royal for new number one contender and got someone else out there. I've never understood where companies who have all this talent, other people in the back, just grab them and say, hey, this happened, we need another match. Can like 10 of you run out there, kill it for like, you know, can you just kill time for like 5 minutes, throw each other over the top rope, and you're winning, and you'll face Bianca and Becky, and you'll take the pin. You know, just do that. It's a job. Like you know, no offense to Carmella, I love her and she's done nothing wrong, but drop her out. Have her take the loss. I mean, it's okay. You know, build her up later.
Honestly, the better name for that, and okay, instead he asks, is there a possibility there's a reason for the squash? Not defending Becky here, just curious. Either needing to save time or something else. Okay, the original report that we have seen is that Becky Lynch was expected to come back in October, setting up something going into Survivor Series. That was the initial date that they were looking to bring her back. And it seems with the news about Sasha potentially not being able to wrestle, and we saw that actually did happen, Vince probably hit the panic button and says, okay, we got to get this out sooner. Now, I don't know what medical clearance is there for Becky Lynch. I don't know if she's 100% cleared to go on a full match. Obviously, this is like her first match back. She's got a lot of ring rust to work off, things like that. So I can understand them wanting to do a quick finish for that respect. But if your plan is to bring her back in October, you could have still done that. We didn't have to see Carmella. Brandon mentions Tony Storm. My first thought was Naomi, who we haven't seen on TV for a while, who supposedly is going to be on SmackDown. And if you start this whole here persona, if she's joining the whole bloodline with her husband, through Roman Reigns, through the Usos, she could have been a great challenger. She and Bianca could have put on a hell of a match. And don't give me the save time thing, because WWE hasn't cared about time on their main pay-per-views since they started their own network. That means nothing at this point, as evidenced by the fact that this went 4 hours long.
And they got the money to buy the extra time. This isn't WCW.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That one flew out. That was mean. Sorry, that one just flew out of my mouth. I didn't mean that. I'm sorry, everybody. Anyway, but they... Damn it! Now I feel bad.
There's other alternatives, and I have no problem. It was a great moment, Becky coming out. It was a bad moment, Becky winning the way she did. And that's where this is the roller coaster of the pay-per-view, as I've mentioned. You could have done this a little bit better. great if she won, if it had been a match that they put together the fans wanted to see, because the crowd was deflated after that. They were like, what it was, if you wanted this to be a high moment for the crowd and keep them going, they were just dead after that. They were so disappointed.
And my thing is, well, that's how you kill SmackDown, which is like your one good show that you had going on for sure.
Yeah. You know, Drake says, wow, Tommy.
Yeah.
Brandon mentions Black America crucifying Becky. I don't know if you can really do that, but okay, it's not her decision on who gets to go over in this situation. She just does what she's asked, right? Although Drake says more like crucifying Vincent is a creative decision. Yeah, there you go.
I have seen some black folks really going at Becky, and so yeah, actually he's right. I noticed it.
Laugh a bit now. If here's the thing, reports as you mentioned, she's going to be coming back as a heel. She's asked for this storyline. Good luck, because the last time you tried to make her a heel, they completely turned that shit around. So you better have some very, very creative booking, very creative promos that she could pull off if you want this to work. That's the big thing. So, she could do it. We'll see. That's kind of the big thing there. The show went on. McIntyre got the win. Charlotte Flair wins the Raw Women's Championship. I know I was the only one of the three that picked it correctly, and I got it right. And Mike was like, "Really? Are you happy with that?" I was like, "Well, I'm happy I got the pick right." I mean, you know.
I just. Okay.
Go ahead.
I'll only care if it's a long title reign this time. If she loses it next month, why? Ric Flair already left, Vince. What do you care?
Steady says maybe this is the only way to make Becky a heel, make her walk over everyone. I think that could work. It's I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens at Extreme Rules. If she's obviously going to get, we think, the rematch. If Bianca Belair doesn't get a rematch, there's something wrong. Fans are going to go crazy. Wrong. Yeah. But if she wrestles somebody else, squashes them, and kind of does that, that's one way to book it. I could see that.
I just there are so many ways to make a popular wrestler a heel that makes logical sense. She could have just as okay. How about this scenario? Sasha can't wrestle. Bianca wrestles Carmella. It could be for the same 30 seconds or whatever time they wrestle, and Becky comes out to a huge pop, but then just blast Bianca for no reason. Just like assaults her like ridiculously.
Yeah.
Ew! Bianca has been over AF since the Royal Rumble. Even during the Thunderdome, like Bianca was over. And when she won at WrestleMania, she main evented. I don't care what anyone says. Night one still counts as a main event. She main evented WrestleMania.
Does count, yes.
And all the racist jackasses on Twitter can eat a dick. I don't care. That shit was pissing me off. Like I keep seeing that shit. Anyway, I have said the S word a lot in this show. Damn it, Mike, but you're not here. I cuss more.
Yeah. That's true.
Anyway, but they've been on Bianca's side. Because they have believed in the narrative WWE themselves have been for her. It's not like she's Zack Ryder who she could have got herself over if she wanted to. She's that talented. But WWE put her in this position. Knocked her down for no reason.
You're right there?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, we can go on.
Honestly, the best match of the night for me was Edge and Rollins.
Okay, something happy we can talk about.
Edge making the Brood entrance.
That was really cool.
It was great to see.
Oh man,
very great to see. I haven't seen him make that entrance in a while.
I didn't realize I missed that until he did it. Like I didn't realize I missed that so much until I heard that old. Because you know what's funny? I have that on one of the old like WWF CDs I bought like way back in the day. It's still on my iPod. So like I was cleaning out my music the other day, and I found it. I was like, I forgot I had this. And and of course every time I hear it, all I can see is like Gangrel and Christian and Edge like coming up out with Edge with that sinister smile and Christian looking like as stoic as always. And I was like, no man, that was really good. That was a really good stable at the time. That was really fun.
This was just fun. And it's always on these big pay-per-views, everyone looks forward to the title matches. But when you just put two guys that hate each other, storyline-wise or real life, I don't know, it's something that they just put together where there's nothing on the line but pride, and it's a great, great match. It was so well done.
I think this is probably one of the, like, you know, biggest things about Edge coming back that everyone wanted to see, especially since, like, when years ago when Seth said, I'm going to break his neck and John, you should have known better, I'm going to kill him anyway or whatever. I think, like, this was the match everyone was waiting for to happen, you know.
Yeah.
I would have preferred it at WrestleMania, but SummerSlam works too, so.
Brandon, Tommy about to lose his Jerry curls. That's what Brandon just told you. This was also kind of the first match of the weekend where someone gave a little nod to their wife. Edge at one point hits Beth Phoenix's finisher. It was pretty cool to see. I think Beth called it out on Twitter, and then even the next day at NXT as well. So, yeah.
Do you know how many, like, married and or dating couples on Twitter, wrestling Twitter? I saw were like, I'm not doing your finisher, babe. I think Lady Frost said, like he can't do mine. He doesn't like moonsaults, and he sure as hell can't do a twist or something like that.
I wonder if that'll be the new trend. Just a kind of quick shout out to their significant others, right?
To be fair, Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae were doing it before anyone even knew they were dating. So actually, so there is that.
Now, one thing that was common about this, I don't know if you guys realize they're watching this, but this was never more evident than when the Goldberg made his appearance at SummerSlam, is that there was no pyro the whole night. All they used was the smoke, and I'm not sure if this was just a burn ban or some sort of fire restriction going on in Vegas with the new stadium. They weren't allowing any sort of fireworks or pyrotechnics, which is most likely. I mean, but they used the smoke as a thing, and it didn't get more confusing until Goldberg came out, and he was standing there at the entrance, almost waiting for the sparks to start, and I could see the camera guy there on the floor telling him, "Hey, let's go," and so that's kind of where it came in. But apparently we learned the secret to beating Goldberg is to turn off his pyro. Because
I remember when y'all messaged that Saturday night, and I just died laughing. I was like, oh my god.
Apparently that's what it is, and Steady, nobody told Goldberg there. Apparently nobody did, and he's just, or he might have just been autopiloting, waiting for it because he's done that entrance so many times. But you know, the interesting thing about it is that this was definitely not the usual Goldberg match. They locked up. They worked an injury angle on Goldberg. Have we ever seen him do that before?
The closest, and this is one thing I always defend Goldberg about.
What's that?
The closest we ever seen something like that was the Halloween Havoc match between him and DDP, which I still think is one of his best matches ever.
Right.
And the only reason I know that is because there was so much controversy around the pay-per-view feed cutting, reference back to WCW, which is why I brought it up in the first place, that I had to watch the match. I was like, okay, now I gotta see it if they're talking about it so much. So, you know, this is proof, like I've said, that Goldberg can work, but then again, like Lesnar, you pay him to do what the people want him to do. So, but it was
nice to see him work an actual match. And this moment, and obviously it's an awkward finish, but I thought this was genius booking on their part. Because starting with the previous pay-per-view, where Lashley's pretty much destroyed Kofi. And I said back then, I was like, this is the only way it's going to make it believable that this guy can stand up to Goldberg is if he comes in as a monster. And he came through as a monster so bad, Goldberg could not finish the match. Never mind Lesnar kicking out of a jackhammer. Never mind Lesnar surviving a spear, pinning Goldberg, all that stuff. Lashley did something nobody has ever done. Goldberg didn't finish the match. That's never happened before, ever, in his career.
It's one of the it's like you say with this show, like the highs and lows, like that actual that moment is something that she's got forever.
Very underrated too. Most people don't realize that.
Extremely.
Yeah.
I think, you know what's funny? I think it's underrated because of the rest of the night.
Okay.
But I think when people look at it later, especially like if you like give it like a year. People like look back on it when all the hurt feelings have died down a bit. It'll take a year. They'll realize that was pretty huge. You know, it was like it was one of the things where it was. I personally believe it was the right booking call because it kind kind of does say that Goldberg is strong, but Lashley's stronger and wore him out. It's really a powerful message about Lashley himself, which I agree with.
Drake says, I think Tommy is trying to subliminally tell us that WWE is the new WCW.
Oh, am I subliminally telling you that? My bad. I meant to say it outright. WWE is the new WCW.
I mean, on some level,
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't help it, man. Lately, and the fact is, I hate making that comparison for two reasons. One, I actually liked WCW right up until about 2000. And even then, they had some good matches. And two, I'm severely disappointed in Vince that this is the direction we're going. It's like, bro, you literally destroyed the competition for doing literally all of this. Every step you're taking is exactly what Vince Russo did in the year 2000, and you're not stopping yourself.
Do you think this storyline with Lashley and Goldberg is going to continue, especially with Goldberg's son getting involved and getting taken down?
Now, and I might be the enemy of wrestling right now for saying that. Now, because of that finish, I kind of hope so. Because if they can make it interesting like that, then I'm down. If they can keep the storyline interesting, because you can do that with Goldberg. You can make it interesting. It's just that people want to, they pay for Fear, Jackhammer, 1, 2, 3. But you can. But the guy is physically imposing as Lashley, and that makes sense. You keep it interesting. So if they play it up like that, then I'm in.
Steady, I don't think this was booking. Honestly, feel like when Goldberg went for his finisher, his knee gave out. I hope this is the end for him. There's a lot of signs there that tell me that it was booking. First of all, the ref never did, the usual X if there's a legit injury. And two, when his son was lying in the ring, the son getting involved was storyline. When his son was lying in the ring, Goldberg very quickly went over there, wasn't selling the knee as much.
Yeah.
So there's little hints. Maybe it's just because we've watched it for so long, we can tell the difference. But this was definitely something they were working a knee. Even when he had him over his shoulders and ran his knee right into the ring post, that was brutal. That was crazy.
Because Goldberg can sell.
Yeah. Goldberg can't sell. We haven't seen it in a while.
He's not. I will admit he's not the best at it. I will admit he's not the best at it, but he can sell. So.
Yeah. Main event went pretty much as I expected it to go down. Good match. Cena, Roman Reigns. Honestly, a lot of people were 50-50 on this. And Brandon, never let Goldberg's son dab again. Yeah, he had I've seen the meme. He had it coming, right? But
he had it coming.
Up until Friday when Roman said, if I don't leave as Universal Champion, I'll leave WWE, I was like, okay, well, Roman's going over.
Yeah, that was I hated that so much because it made it so freaking obvious.
Yes.
It was like, dude, we know you're not filming Hobbs and Shaw 2 next month. It's okay.
Roman didn't have to say that part. If he had said, okay, there's no way you're coming out, just make it a generic thing. But when you put an ultimatum like that, okay, there's no way they're letting you leave WWE. There's no way you're going to do a storyline like that. So, yeah. The closest...
If Edge was champion and said something like that, then it would be believable. Because, Edge is probably just back for this one last run to leave on his terms anyway. So
yeah, not when it's the top heel in the country or the company. So, yeah.
Actually, country is kind of right. I can't lie.
As far as pick results go, Mike and Tommy both went 7-2, and I went 8-1 on SummerSlam picks.
Because you picked Charlotte, and damn you for that.
That was the big difference. That's the one difference.
Yeah, that was the one.
Now, WrestleCast ratings 0-5, 5 being WrestleMania 17, 0 being December to Dismember. If you're in the chat watching us, let us know what your ratings are. 0-5. Yes, you can do decimal points. Anything between absolute 0 and 5.00. Mike did give me his rating, but he gave me a video, and after we talk about TakeOver, I'm going to play it. We'll get his rating at that point. But Tommy, go ahead and give your rating for SummerSlam.
I really have a hard time going any higher than this because it was really bogged down by stuff. But it wasn't a terrible show, but I got to give it a 3.5. I liked a lot, but the things that disappointed me just really killed it for me, man. And I hate to say that, but But honestly, the Bianca thing just killed the fun of the show for me, man. I was just like, and I don't know if I care that much about the rest of the show anymore. I mean, I'd probably feel better watching it like I said, like later, like if I watch like a couple months from now, and I'll get over. But in the moment, man, that ruined the show for me, man. And the rest of it was fun, but it just killed the enjoyability. It did.
I'm actually along the lines with you. This was just a passing grade of 3.5. This is SummerSlam. Yeah. It's supposed to be something bigger than what it was.
You know what?
There were some.
That's it.
Yeah.
If they had done this at another pay-per-view and had like Bianca get her revenge at SummerSlam, that would have made it way better.
Yeah.
That would have been so much better. But yeah,
So yeah, this was 3.5 for me. Even Lesnar's appearance didn't really amount to much at the end. Like if he had done something like hit Roman or taken him down, and then Big E runs out and cashes in, great, you know.
Why didn't we get that?
I know.
Oh, now I'm sadder. 2.5.
Yeah. But this was really just a passing grade. It wasn't anything spectacular. It was SummerSlam. It was in Vegas. I mean, that was, I guess, the cool part about it. Honestly, the funniest thing to come out of these is the vignettes of Corbin starting to strike it rich at Vegas casinos and moving from a little cheap motel into like a presidential suite somewhere. So he's getting his riches back slowly but surely. But you know, it wasn't anything spectacular. It had some good moments. B Ninja's given it a 3.5. Steady gives it a 2.5. He says too many issues, awkward storytelling, even the production was off. Ooh. Yeah, you know.
But you know what? Like I said, also, all joking aside, if people give it lower than what we're giving it, I really don't blame them. I mean, because we talked about it before. Some things can just kill an entire show, no matter how good it is.
Yeah,
I can kill a show.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, I will give you guys Mike's rating and our overall rating after we talk about NXT TakeOver 36. I don't, just because Mike kind of puts it all together in one video. He sent in a little video message for us to discuss. But I think it's worth it to go ahead. Steady, skip the water play with Miz next time. Yeah, the water segment. It was, yeah, this is where WWE became a variety show. And I feel like save that for the TV segments. You don't need that on pay-per-view.
I was like, and that's time that wrestlers could have been on and spent because.
Yeah. We talked about, if you're time saving the Becky Lynch match thing, there's all the time you could have taken out and given them a longer match. You know,
like seriously,
so, right there. But then again, the best part about that was Xavier Woods with his Razor Ramon Scott Hall impression.
I will say that was really cool.
That was pretty spot on.
I'll say that was pretty cool.
Now, it's funny because usually it's always like NXT TakeOver, okay, and then see if you can follow what we just did, SummerSlam or Survivor Series or whatever.
Right.
Now it was the other way around. SummerSlam's right, okay, this. TakeOver's like, what do you guys got? Only their best pay-per-view of the year, to be honest with you. This really was wow.
I was impressed by a lot of this show. I was thoroughly impressed
by all of this show, to be honest with you. I can't say I was completely disappointed in anything. So
ironically, I just think, oh man, I'm gonna get so much hate when I say this, especially being a Samoa Joe fan. I think the wrong match made it into the show.
Yeah, I agree with you. Especially with the big whole final or undisputed finale that they pushed. I thought that was going last. I really did.
And again, this is nothing against Joe or Karrion Kross, because I'm not mad at Kross. His booking has been trash. The guy doesn't deserve. I don't think Kross deserves the hate he's been getting. He does, like you said, he doesn't control the booking, and it's like no offense to them, they were not the biggest story going into this. It really wasn't. It was like several years of NXT plus like another like 5 years of Indies going into this with O'Reilly and Cole.
Mm-hmm. Now I can see the sides of it. They're at least one thing that they did was the championship goes on last, which is great. I get that. From that side, it's fine. But might it also have been some pettiness? Maybe Vince called down and says Adam Cole's match better not be last because he's potentially leaving the company.
Dude, can you? the level of not surprised I would be if that's the case is actually kind of amazing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
For one thing, I definitely think they did great was Cameron Grimes, LA Knight. I am looking forward to all the vignettes of Cameron Grimes, Hillbilly Millionaire, with the $1 million title. What they're gonna do with that? That's gonna be fun. That was a great match to start the show.
Grimes is hilarious.
Grimes is so good.
So funny. He's so funny.
Raquel Gonzalez defeating Dakota Kai pretty quickly, I might add. I mean, it was Dakota Kai got some offense, but Raquel got her win, and I would be very surprised Dakota Kai did win there. I guess the storyline hasn't been pushed as much, but Kaylee Ray coming out and seeming to be the next challenger for Raquel Gonzalez, a former NXT UK Women's Champion. Now she's in NXT. Now the only other match that could potentially be a match of the night candidate besides Kyle O'Reilly and Adam Cole was Ilya Dragunov and Walter. 22 minutes of a hard-hitting, bruising match. And if you don't think Dragunov deserves that title, you didn't see his chest after the match was over.
You didn't see him damn near die to put Walter in a sleeper. I thought he was gonna kill him like 8 times. It was like what the hell?
Brandon says, shout out to Ref Aja Smith holding it down at TakeOver. Yeah. Marathon worker, right? But that match was insane. As hard as it was, the shock of Walter tapping out was surprising.
I was thoroughly shocked. That now, because I can't say that he's never tapped out before. I honestly don't know. I have to go back and check. But just the fact that they had it on a TakeOver.
Yeah.
That's a big deal to me. That's a big deal to me. But man, it was to the right guy. It was to the right guy. Dragunov's, it was kind of almost like a, Rocky 4, except both guys were Dragunov, except one was just bigger. Both guys were even on Dragunov, just one was bigger. But I don't know, man. Something about like that. Those two, it kind of reminded me of like when Pete Dunne lost the belt to Walter in the first place. It was just like this perfect magic of like just hard-hitting strikes and submissions. Except this time Walter tapped out, which again was the legitimately shocking part of that match.
That was definitely the big surprise of that whole match, and pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I'll just quickly mention the main event: Joe defeating Karrion Kross. This is pretty much all that confirmed that Kross was going to the main roster full time.
And make sure there's only 3-time NXT champion.
Is Samoa Joe. Scarlett not at ringside, by the way. I don't know what is going on, why she's not cleared. I don't know.
Someone joked that Vince takes the DVC likes and locks him in a dungeon. I said that's not funny, but it's not funny, and it's also something I don't rule out as an actual possibility of things that could happen. So
it's Cross's wife, I'm not mistaken, so there better not be what's going on. So
Yeah, I know, but
yeah.
Vince is. I'm convinced Vince has gotten weirder over the years, and I can't believe that sentence just left my mouth.
Brandon Dragunov, not from Tekken, sent missiles on Walter. That's funny. I like that. I like it. Now, the 2 out of 3 falls match, Kyle O'Reilly, Adam Cole, classic as I thought it was going to be. O'Reilly getting the initial pin, Cole getting the win on the street fight, and some of those kendo stick shots were brutal. My God.
I have a hard time. Cole and O'Reilly for me are like Okada and Tanahashi. I don't know which match of theirs is my favorite.
Yeah, they're always good.
Everything. They're always good, and I've seen them wrestle in brutal things before. Like the okay, I gotta tell you my favorite moment was the chains.
Yeah,
was when they both had. My thing was like I watched that, and the first thing. This is the legitimately first thing I thought. I said, that's the natural conclusion of this rivalry. If they ever fight again, they have to just outright just get bottles, break them, and just stab each other. And that's just the only... And even then, Britt will be standing backstage like, I can't believe I love him. I really can't. Like, just why do I do this to myself? Just...
Oh my gosh. It was intense. It was emotional. The ending was pretty surprising too. I mean, has Kyle O'Reilly handcuffed, and Kyle O'Reilly grabs a super kick and with one hand is able to heel hook for the win, which was awesome.
I I thought that was pretty inventive.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. And I also thought this was probably them talking in the back and thinking, what haven't we done to each other that we could do? It's like, because if you go back and watch their own stuff, it's like, at the time, the things they've done have been pretty inventive, and now everyone's probably ripped off half their crap. Of course, you know that happens all the time. But it's like they're probably thinking to themselves, "What haven't we done to each other that'll be new?" It's like, and it's like, well, I could super kick you a lot, dude. We do that on a regular basis. We did that when we were friends. We super kicked each other on accidents. Yeah.
Great show, fun show. Then there it is. Brandon mentioned it. We talked about wrestlers using their spouses' finishers. Adam Cole using Britt Baker's lockjaw. On top of what we mentioned with Edge using Beth Phoenix's move on the night before.
A part of me wants to believe he asked her how to do that. Like he said, babe, show me how to do the lockjaw real quick. And she's like, why? I'm gonna use it on O'Reilly during match. And part of what's really, she's like, you son of a bitch! She's gonna steal my move, just use it like I don't use it all the time. It's actually my finisher. It's like, he's like, I love you. Oh, shut up. Here's how you do it.
It was a pretty cool moment, and I'm just gonna take a moment and say this. I'm wearing this shirt because we have potentially seen the greatest NXT superstar of all time. Period. And they
screwed it up. Go ahead.
Did they though?
It's true. You know what?
They didn't. You know what? They didn't screw this up. You know why they didn't screw this up? Because they didn't send him to the main roster. And I'm sure there might have been moments where they wanted to, but he said no. He wanted to stick around. He led arguably the greatest faction in NXT's history in the Undisputed Era.
I would actually argue to the ground with anybody. They were hands down in NXT the best faction, and anyone wants to argue with me, come on with it. Yeah. I also think it's funny that he never wanted to go. He probably because he saw what had already happened, what could happen, and then he watched Monday and was like, yeah, I'm not going up there, fam. Nah, y'all be tripping. I read somewhere. Because wrestling Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are so weird. Someone said like he's too small to be a wrestler anyway. I was like, yeah, I'm sure Rey Mysterio heard that a lot too.
Yeah, how many wrestlers heard that a lot?
And I commented that, and like so many people laughed at that. I was like, he's too small to be a wrestler. Yeah, just like Rey Mysterio, Rey Fenix. Pick a wrestler in Mexico. Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels for a time, Bret Hart. I mean, those were small guys too when you think about it.
Keiji Muto, when he started, was a junior heavyweight, 100%. So yeah, the great Muto absolutely was not a big dude. So yeah.
This is definitely probably the greatest NXT superstar to never go to the main roster, whether by choice or not. Yeah, I think, and it's possible the reason why he hasn't re-signed, at least as of now. Now, there's been conflicting reports that his contract is already over or it's not expiring until this Friday. So we may or may not see him on Dynamite or Rampage this week. It just depends. But one thing he did mention, and one thing that's probably possible as to why he was leaving too, is his Twitch channel. Obviously, WWE came in the news because they wanted to shut down anybody that works for them from having any sort of Patreon, Cameo, Twitch, any sort of third-party software that can make some extra money, especially during the pandemic. And, of course, Randy, don't forget WWE firing a lot of his friends. Yeah, that too, that contributed to it. But very, very recently, before this past weekend on his Twitch channel, he said, there is 0% chance I'm shutting this channel down. That seems to tell me, unless they negotiate a contract with WWE that's going to pay him and allow him to keep his Twitch channel, he's long gone. To the point where they want to take a cut of whatever he makes. No, that's not going to happen. So his contract's expired. If his contract has expired, there is no non-compete clause. He can go the day after where he wants to go. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Once your contract is cut, the non-compete clause is basically what they put it.
You're right. My bad. I was thinking of you're right.
Yeah, because his contract expired. They're not paying him beyond that. The non-competes that they usually put on people are, say they have like 5 years left on their contract. Well, we're going to release you now. We're going to pay you for the next 3 months. You just can't work anywhere. That's what the non-competes are for. Whereas in his case, his contract expires, whether it's already done that he's a free agent now or it's expiring Friday, who knows. They can't say where he can or can't work because they're not paying him at this point. So he can go wherever he wants.
Someone on Twitter put like, what if you're watching either Rampage or Dynamite and you hear his old like ROH that guitar riff that you hear dirty, sexy, and I was like, first of all, the building will implode. Second of all, if he doesn't come out with the Young Bucks, I will be shocked. But
Even to the point the Young Bucks on their official Twitter changed their bio and it linked it to a video about seances.
That was so stupid.
And if you know, you know. Tommy, don't explain it. Let's see if people can figure it out.
I won't. I clicked on the video and it started playing, and I fell out laughing. I said, "What the hell am I looking at?"
Funny stuff. I think it's a done deal. All I know is that everyone's eyes are going to be glued to Dynamite tomorrow. Possibly Impact on Thursday because Scott D'Amore at a Dodgers game pretty much almost let it known that Blake Murphy may be debuting on Impact on Thursday. So keep an eye on that. So
I'm thoroughly enjoying this. The not just the fact that Forbidden Door is open, but the scale of it. It's like no one even gives a damn anymore. It's like, when they feel like opening the door, they don't even open it. They kick that sumbitch in and just be like, "Hey, I'm bringing this guy in. Here you go."
Yeah.
So, but if Murphy shows up in Impact, this is one of the times I feel like that'll be a better fit for him than AEW because I think he can get more of a chance to shine. And I love to see him and guys like Christian Cage. Well, you could do Christian Cage in AEW too, but like Brian Myers and all those guys lock it up. I think he'd be fun there.
I think he'd be working both at this point, the way they've been promoting it.
So especially if he comes in like, being like number one contender or something, which I could easily see.
Yeah.
I could easily see that.
Yeah, we'll see where they go with it. As for our picks on this show, I went 3-2. Tommy went 4-1, and Mike pulled the Tez on this show, going 5-0 on his picks. Gotta miss. Shout out to Mike on that. So, we'll quickly give our WrestleCast ratings for this, and can't say there was really anything bad about this. Maybe some of the matches I wish were longer, things like that here and there. This, like I said, is arguably NXT's best show of the year. And I have to give it a 5. I'm being completely honest with you. It was really good. I did enjoy this throughout. It wasn't a bad thing on it. This was a lot of fun. So, Tommy, what about you?
I'm gonna give it a 4.75.
Okay.
I don't know why I don't know why. I guess maybe the whole weekend just kind of messed me up after SummerSlam. But it's like maybe that just affected me, huh? Maybe I'm just really that jaded now.
Yeah.
So, but I'll get a 4.75. Yeah.
Okay, so let me get Mike's video set up here.
Okay.
Bear with me a moment, please.
Will do. In the meantime, I'll do my juggling act. I have no juggling act. If I throw anything in this room and something breaks, I will not hear the end of it.
All right, let me change this up. Give me a quick second here, people that are watching at home. Oh, where's my thing here? Okay, here we go, guys. This is what Mike had to say.
Hey guys, sorry I couldn't make it tonight. We're back in school, and there's a good chance that I'm going to be asleep by the time the show goes live tonight. Just trying to get back and all that. So I just wanted to share some quick thoughts. It'll kind of be like a short, extended 1-minute warning, I guess. I'll try to keep it real simple, and hopefully next week I'll be back on. And if there's anything I want to miss, we'll go over. So real quick, CM Punk return on Rampage was amazing. Goosebumps is what I tweeted and put to the group chat. It was just great. Seeing him back, Chicago loves him. The way the crowd reacted, to me, it was done right. You just let him come out, let him speak his mind. I have no problem with what he said. I don't care if he goes back to reference WWE because WWE is was a big part of his career, and it's a big part of the wrestling landscape, and you can't really ignore it. But I look forward to what he's going to do in AEW. The ice cream bars were hilarious, so I think that was great. Just look forward to him and everyone else he can compete with. SummerSlam, it looks like I went 7-2. Up and down show for me. The match of the night, in my opinion, was Edge and Seth Rollins. And then Sheamus and Damian Priest kind of behind that to me. Those were the two most solid matches. Reigns and Cena, it was fine with the way it went down. It was cool with Lesnar coming back. But the match style at the beginning was so Triple H, so slow, and just not the way you want to end the night. I know the very end was cool and all that, but that match really was grinding. The Becky Lynch thing, glad she's back. Not sure if that was the best way to do, and people will say, oh, well, if Belair wins in the end, it won't matter. But it's still, WWE is really good at drawing heat from their fans. They're not always great at giving them really what they want. And, I don't know. I find that an issue sometimes. Other than that, some of the other matches here, were fine. Nothing to write home about. Oldberg, whatever, with the son. That's just weird. I'll give it about a 4. It's all right. Had some good moments, had some really boring moments. NXT TakeOver, the next night went 5-0, so I test that. Great show overall. The two things I'll focus on, the 2 out of 3 falls match. I think it's always weird to do 2 out of 3 falls or Iron Man because you have to throw pins in there a lot sooner than you would in a one-on-one regular match, right? We know a Cole O'Reilly NXT main event would have probably, under normal circumstances, gone 30, 40 minutes before we get to a pinfall. But you got to get that first one in. And then the way it kind of ended abruptly in the steel cage, kind of weird. But I think Cole did a great job putting O'Reilly over even more, as he always does. And I'm kind of on the mindset that Cole's, off to greener pastures. So, good luck to him. Love to see him show up in AEW. And then Walter and Ilya Dragunov, oh my God. Just an amazing match. I'm glad it was able to be done in front of people and fans. That's 5-star for me. I'm going to give this pay-per-view a 5 based off my 5-0 pick, based off this match, and everything was solid. Like, there's nothing I was even like, oh, well, that was it. Like, it was great all the way across. NXT always delivers. I hope these changes coming don't affect things too much. The rest of the stuff they're talking about today, I don't have as much, and I'm already kind of running long, so just wanted to share that. If any of y'all have any other thoughts, please share them. But thank you guys. Hopefully I'll be back next week. But I look forward to some of the things coming up. Thanks, guys. Be good to each other. Bailey and Cesaro.
Shout out Bailey and Cesaro there. That was good thoughts with Mike. So as you heard there, he gave a 4 for SummerSlam and a 5 for TakeOver. So what was our overall rating for both of those shows? Well, for SummerSlam, it was a 3.67.
Okay.
And for TakeOver, a 4.9167. Damn near perfect. But I want to say that might be the highest rated NXT show we've had for the year. Let me double check.
Probably for the year, yeah. I think so.
Yeah, that has been for us their highest rated show of the year on our part. Still the best show of the year for us has been AEW Double or Nothing. It's hard to top that, but All Out might do that. We'll find that out next week. So,
All Out is their show to kind of dominate, dude. It's like it, and I love what Mike said about Adam Cole being off to greener pastures, and he said, "Let's make AEW." What world are we living in where a company that's 3 years old is greener pastures than WWE?
Yeah.
How did we get here?
It's very, very true. That's just kind of where it stands right now. That this is the new place. This is the new thing to go, and it's not like a flavor of the week. They're making some good investments.
It's not like everyone said. It's not just the T-shirt company. It's they're putting on quality matches, and if any company that could convince, like I said, I want to be in that room. Tony Khan talked to CM Punk and convinced him to come back.
Yeah.
What did he say? What magical formula did this man have? Like, for real.
Now, believe it or not, there is a couple of pay-per-views this weekend, and both of them are of the NWA flavor, but we're going to talk real quickly about one of them, and that is NWA EmPowerrr. It is an all-women show produced actually by Mickie James, legendary wrestler Mickie James. There's actually 7 matches on the card, one of which is a women's invitational gauntlet, and the interesting part about that one is the winner of that match is going to take on the winner of the NWA Women's World Championship match later in the night. They're going to be wrestling again the next day as part of NWA's 73rd anniversary show. There's also 3 matches that are kind of tied together. There is a women's tag team championship. We have the 2 semifinals and then the final after that to crown the first NWA Women's Tag Team Championships. The teams involved with that, Allison Kay and Marty Bell, aka the Hex, are going against Hell on Heels, Renee Michelle, and Sahara 7. The other semifinal is Red Velvet and Kylan King. Kylan King, excuse me, versus the Free Babies, which is any combination of Jazzy Yang, Hollywood Haley J, and Miranda Gordy. So any of those, basically the 2 semifinals that will be facing each other. So
I will never pick against Allison Kay and Marty Bell. I refuse. I do want to shout out a couple of people in the Invitational Gauntlet.
Yeah.
Because I've met a few of them. Genocide, Masha Slamovich, and Tootie Lynn, because they're awesome, and also because Masha Slamovich scares the ever-loving crap out of me.
Yeah. The women's
Genocide does too, but Masha Slamovich sounds like she would actually kill me first. So.
One match I'm personally looking forward to is the Impact Knockouts Championship. Deonna Purrazzo is defending against Melina Perez. For those who don't know. I'm expecting Deonna to win, but this is going to be a hell of a match. It's pretty awesome.
I'm looking forward to it. I think a sleeper hit could be Camille and Layla Hirsch, because Hirsch
that might be the main event, to be honest with you. So
yeah, I know her nickname is legit, but when you see her in action, she lives up to that nickname. She is 100% real. So
yeah, I'm expecting Camille to come out of that winning, and I think the Invitational Gauntlet is going to be won by Chelsea Green, and I would love to see Camille and Chelsea Green at NWA 73 the next night.
That would be cool.
Be pretty awesome. So, and the other match, Chick Tormenta versus Diamante versus Kylie Ray. A triple threat match.
If it's the same Chick Tormenta, I think I've actually met all 3 of them.
Nice.
It's the same Chick Tormenta, because she was at RCW years ago. It was years back when I met her. So
yeah. Are you? Who are you expecting to come out of the Invitational to be challenging the next night?
See, really, the biggest name is Chelsea Green, which would probably be my pick. But part of me thinks maybe it might be Kiera Hogan, because she's been making this name as the hottest free agent, and props to her. She's one of the people who's again taking bets on herself, and props to her for that, because that's how we got AEW. That's how we got who haven't we gotten people taking bets on themselves? Guys like Mark Henry, Dustin Rhodes, and Paul White, who all had guaranteed contracts to do nothing WWE, but they wanted to they want to do stuff. They want to do commentary, they want to do backstage interviews, they want to help train younger talent. That's taking a chance on yourself, no matter and Kiera Hogan, I loved her in Impact, thought she was great. I loved if she could have stayed there and mixed it up some more, but if she wants to go on her own and see what else is out there, what else she can do, what the hell, go for it, see what else you can do.
Brandon,
go get your money.
Shout out to Kylan King, as she was here for Mission Pro on Friday. He also says it's Dulce Tormenta from Mission Pro.
Okay.
Yeah, it's an interpromotional triple threat. She's representing AAA, Diamante is representing AEW, and then you got Kylie Ray representing NWA. Okay. He also said Kira still makes him sweat. Your horn dog there, Brandon. Good God. All right.
Chat might be a bad idea for the show from now on. I don't think I should really. I don't think I should announce next week that we're going to split like a day early. I think that's what happened now. That might have been a bad idea.
Now, I mentioned Mickie James. She's producing this show, but she's going to be wrestling the next night against Kylie Ray as just part of the NWA 73rd anniversary show. Her husband is going to be defending his title, the NWA World's Heavyweight Championship, against Trevor Murdoch. It's title versus career. Trevor Murdoch's career is on the line. So,
I am legit split on that. I mean, because at this point, I still want to call him Magnus. I still want to call him Magnus. Like, no matter who that man who is now, I want to call him Magnus. But like, you know what? I like Deonna Purrazzo, like you are with Deonna Purrazzo. Until he loses, I will not bet against him.
Yeah.
Because I get it, pandemic, blah blah blah. And, he can't do NWA.
Still counts. Still counts.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly. Whatever. He could do the pandemic. He was still. And because in my opinion, I'm like, yeah, because all those title wins he had before the pandemic hit meant absolutely nothing, right? He did not prove himself as a world champion like 3 years before that. Whatever, dude. So yeah, so until he loses, we were making picks on that. I'm picking all this. Like, screw it. I don't even care
Same.
anymore.
Brandon also says she knows this. Talk about Kate Hogan.
Yeah, he probably tells her in RCW all the time.
Probably.
Well, see, that's the thing. She really does prove herself in RCW, being the women's champion there, being able to hold her own. So and honestly, I don't think it's really like they were holding her back in Impact thing. It's just like it's one of those times where in life you get a choice. Can you stay where you're at, where you can guarantee to be somewhere, or do you want to take a chance and branch out, see what you can do? Take a chance, branching out, see what you can do.
Mm-hmm. Hope it gets better for her too. I wasn't too happy with the way she was beat on AEW Rampage on Friday, so I'm hoping she gets to showcase more.
And I do get that was like the one argument people made about the matches being short, and I was like, I get that. But at the same time, Jay Cargill has been squashing people, and also CM Punk show. So
Brandon mentions he almost called him Magnum, like the condoms at one point. So we know where Brandon's mind is in the gutter right now. So, all right. That's EmPowerrr. We'll have all the details on that at the end of the show. But
so next week we're gonna have live chat, right? Okay.
I'm just kidding. We're always gonna keep that on. Real quickly, some results from the Ring of Honor Women's Championship Tournament. There were 2 matches that were on ROH TV last week, and my God, I'm getting more and more excited. They better not be teasing me here. Roxy defeated Quinn McKay to move into the semifinals, and Miranda Elise defeated Nicole Savoy. Both 2 really good matches. Roxy, though, has been impressive, taking on Sumi Sakai and then Quinn McKay. Roxy is going to face the winner of Max the Impaler and Angelina Love. And Miranda Elise will face the winner of Trish Adora and Allison Kay. Those will be on ROH TV this weekend.
The only reason I'm not that really super mad is because ROH didn't steal my idea of putting Trish Adora and Nicole Savoy in a match against each other already, which is my booking idea. I want credit, and I want someone in Texas to book it. I'm like, for crying out. I've been tweeting that for like 6 months. Does no one read my tweets? Yeah, they probably don't.
Probably not. So, yeah. Brandon mentioned she's upset Savoy lost. Yeah, you sound like Tommy. Yeah. But as long as Roxy makes it to the end, I'm rooting for Roxy.
If Roxy wins this
would be amazing.
That's gonna be insane. I will be legit. I'm like, wow, because no offense to her, but she's made it a lot farther than I thought they were going to let her go. So
as the first one announced for the tournament, I think they believe in her a lot. So I think this is very important for her, and I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes. I'm looking forward. I expect her to be facing Angelina Love in the next round, to be honest with you, and that's going to be a real big test for her. So hoping she comes out on top there.
Isn't that a Death Before Dishonor where the finals are?
I believe so. Yeah. Does be a Death Before Dishonor, yeah. So, Tommy, did you get to watch Heels? I don't know if you're gotten to see it at all.
Not yet. I haven't seen it yet. I'm behind.
It's 2 episodes in. I'm just really gonna say I do recommend seeing it if you can. It's on Starz. Don't let your kids watch it, people. It is TVMA, and for a very good reason. But this is really a small town wrestling promotion, and the acting's great, the writing's great. I know it's 2 episodes in, and they really kind of exploring a lot of like the backstory goes on, how this town gets around wrestling, how small town wrestling, and even back to the territory days. It's actually pretty good. I do enjoy it. I think there's a lot of drama involved with it too. They have some fun with it, and I'm looking forward to seeing where the rest of this show goes. Yeah. It's definitely worth a watch if you haven't seen it already. Please go check it out. I think every wrestling fan should. So,
A friend of mine, he's caught up, and he's a diehard wrestling fan. He absolutely recommends it. He loves it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brandon said Tommy was about to say that, and it better not be Angelina. I really don't think. I really hope Angelina doesn't win the whole thing.
I don't think it'll be Angelina, but I'm with him. I hope it's not her either.
Yeah. All right. With that, we'll move into our 1 minute warning segment here. Tommy, do you have something this week for us?
I do.
All right.
I guess it'll be quick.
Well, whenever you are ready, sir. 3, 2, 1, and go.
Okay, mine is just simply, we need to enjoy this. Like, I get it, WWE's kind of screwing up where they're at, and whatever. But AEW, you can't say they're not trying for the fans anymore. You can't say that they are not trying to put on the best shows. Yes, they need ratings, of course. They're a TV show. Yes, they want to put on the best matches. Yes, they want to outdo their competition. I'm saying it now. They're competition now. But they're not trying to put them out of business. They're not spoiling things. Okay, WCW again. I just said it. But they're trying to make it fun. They're trying to make wrestling fun again, and they're trying to make it an environment where the wrestlers are having fun. That's one thing CM Punk was saying. He wasn't having fun anymore, and now he's having fun, and he has a set schedule where he's not killing himself. Every week, and good for him. Like, there are guys who need to put in the time to get to where they're at. Punk had been there for years, and now he's finally getting to enjoy kind of that legend status that he's accumulated. Mm-hmm. So good for him. Good for AEW. Honestly, I still feel like they won the weekend. No offense to TakeOver or SummerSlam, but I feel like AEW. Nah, fam. The second look in my eyes, what do you see played? Yeah, AEW kind of won this weekend.
Hard to top that.
Yeah, it's like New Japan with Wrestle Kingdom. They won the year in January.
Hard to top that. Yeah, definitely. Before I get into mine, I just want to make a quick note. There's the latest PWI Wrestling magazine came out, and they're looking at the readers poll. One that was pretty interesting to me is that they polled the readers of PWI who is the next breakout star of NXT, and the guy that got the most votes was Bronson Reed. Whoops. I thought it was worth shouting that out. That, my God, how many people they vote for on this aren't even in the company anymore. Still, there's some interesting things in there. I'm just saying, Jonah Rock.
That breaks my heart, man, so much. Because I agree.
Yeah. My 1 minute warning is kind of circle around wrestling related here to a point. Just bear with me here.
Okay.
As a parent, my kids watch a lot of shows, some that I like, some that I don't like. One that I'm just annoyed with is this one that's called Ryan's Mystery Playdate. If you don't know, Ryan is this kid who got famous on YouTube. His parents had him opening presents. It started getting millions of views, and he's making a bunch of money. He got his own show on Nickelodeon, Nick Jr., and his parents are involved in it too. Why do I bring this up? As much as I don't enjoy the show because it's just annoying to me, Kurt Angle and Ember Moon are going to be on this Friday's brand new episode of it, being involved with it being their silly selves. So, if you feel like seeing how Kurt Angle and Ember Moon are being on TV on a kids show, I believe it's at 9 a.m. Central Time on Nickelodeon. You'll see them on Ryan's Mystery Playdate, just being silliness and all hell. And you know what? It takes me back to my days watching Sesame Street, when you might see celebrities going on there and just being silly. And maybe you can appreciate it now. But I know Brandon's in the chat. He might actually watch this because Ember Moon is in there. But yeah, Kurt Angle, Ember Moon are going to be on Ryan's Mystery Playdate on Nickelodeon at 9 a.m. on Friday. Check it out if you got the time. I told you to be wrestling related somehow. I just kind of had to circle around there. So.
I do laugh because it's like I laugh for people who don't know Ember Moon is really silly.
Yeah,
that would be like a shock.
She's got to do pretty well on it then. Yeah, so
Kurt Angle being silly, we all remember Jimmy Crack Corn. I don't care. I got Olympic gold. We all remember that. But it's like Ember Moon, she's that silly, and to those who don't know, I will say profoundly, yes.
Uh-huh.
She's that silly and then some. She is absolutely ridiculous when she wants to be. And I love her for it. Anyway.
Yeah. All right, so what is on tap this weekend? Well, we have the NWA's first ever all-women's pay-per-view, NWA EmPowerrr, live Saturday, August 28th at 7 p.m. Central Time from the Chase's Courthouse and Ballroom in St. Louis, Missouri. It's on Fight TV for $25. However, if you want to watch both NWA EmPowerrr and the NWA 73rd Anniversary Show, which is the next night, Sunday night. You can buy a bundle for $40 to get both of those on Fight TV. Go check it out. Get it from the Fight TV website. I think EmPowerrr is going to be a fun show to watch. And I believe they're also, Mickey James also going to be hosting a roundtable. I know Gail Kim's going to be on it, and a couple of other wrestling legends too, just kind of talking about women's wrestling in general. That's going to be this weekend. I believe that's on Saturday during the day. But 2 good NWA pay-per-views. If you feel like watching wrestling this weekend, there you go. Tell me what you got.
So I was gonna say I might be going. I'm considering going live on my YouTube channel this coming Friday. If I'm not live, I might just post a new video talking about some nerd stuff. So we'll see. I don't know. If I go live, I'll put it on my social media. We'll see.
All right. Tomorrow we're gonna have a live Geekcast episode. Gonna be talking about the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer again. We did a live reaction yesterday when it dropped. Talk a bit about Heels, the first 2 episodes if you haven't seen them already, and what if episode 3 drops tomorrow as well. So we'll be discussing that a bit on the Geekcast. And as for us, our Twitter at @CCG_WrestleCast. Let us know your thoughts on this roller coaster of a SummerSlam weekend. Let us know if you're going to be watching NWA EmPowerrr. Next week, we'll talk a bit about EmPowerrr, but we're going to be talking a lot about AEW All Out, which just got even better based on what happened this past Friday. So
it's gonna shake that entire building in Chicago. It's like, I'm surprised if there was a roof still on it by the end of the night. I will be legitimately surprised.
It's definitely gonna be nuts. So thank you everyone for being a part of this show today. I know everyone was very excited to be talking about it, especially with CM Punk debuting. We appreciate all the live comments. If you're watching us later on, feel free to comment as well. Thank you, Mike, for sending your video with your thoughts. And Tommy, yeah, let me just go ahead and start the sign off here, right? Thank you again, Tommy, for joining us.
In honor of Mike, y'all can be good to each other.
All right. And I'm JC, and as always, heels and baby faces, remember, pro wrestling is real. People are fake. See y'all next time.